Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought we would do today is I have this little cloud tray and I want to do a bloom in here. I know it's a kind of an odd shape, but I've never done just a solid white bloom with a backing. So I want to do a white bloom with a blue backing since it is a cloud. But I'm going to put a little bit of my Unicorn Art crushed crystal into my resin. That way it can kind of look like stars maybe in the sky. And then I'm probably going to do a dark blue and make it look like a night sky, because I think the dark blue would show the white better. But all I've done is mixed up 3 ounces of resin, and I'm just going to put that crushed crystal in there. Now, you know you want your resin to be between 33 and 36 degrees Fahrenheit to do bloom. When I put this in the vacuum chamber, it heats my resin up. So I'm at 26.4. So I'm going to get this in the vacuum chamber, and we'll see what it is when I get it out. And then, if it's time for our bloom, we'll start our bloom. So, clean this stick off here. So I can throw that to the side. Alright guys, I'm going to get this in the vacuum chamber. I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, I put a few bubbles in here stirring this up. Always stir your resin before you check your temp, because the temp on the outside is going to be a lot cooler than the inside. And I'm at 32.8. So we're going to go ahead and start. I'm close enough. This is heating up so fast. I'm going to do 20 grams for my white. And then we're going to dump the rest into the mold. Now this is Oshbang resin. I've never used it for a bloom. And y'all know every time I open a new container of resin, I like to try it for a bloom. So I got 20 grams. Now we're just going to dump this along in here, and hopefully it's enough. I think it should be plenty. Yeah. You don't need a lot for a bloom. And this is plenty. Actually, I don't even think I need the rest of that. I've got something I can dump it in. No problem. Okay. Now, I am going to kind of try to pop a few little bubbles here. Now, my little torch, I'm still being mindful of the edge, but my little torch is just a little butane lighter. Got my bloom paste, open it halfway. I'm going to do 2 drops. Bloom paste is 1 drop per every 10 milliliters. You just let it bubble up until it's ready to drop and let it drop. But my little torch, as I was saying, it's just a butane lighter, so it doesn't get real hot. So sometimes it doesn't even pop the bubbles very well. But you don't want anything too hot around. What is that? Oh, it's my cup. I keep that in. Duh. Alright. Let's mix this up. You want it to look like skim milk. And if you'll use the 1 drop or the half a drop, open it halfway, and use that per every 10 milliliters, you'll get the perfect white that you need. And you want it to look like skim milk. So, just mix it up here. You know, we could make this kind of like a galaxy if we wanted to use alcohol inks and do pinks and purples with the dark blue background, but I'm not going to do that. Although it would kind of be kind of cool. I think I might drop a little bit. See, that's why I can't ever do just a solid white bloom. But you can see how you can see through the stick there. Very translucent. Okay, so let's what about some dark indigo there. It's kind of a blue color look, isn't it? And we'll do dark orchid over here. A couple of drops. And rose for our pink. Put a little bit That looks kind of orangey, doesn't it? What about peach red? Can I get that to change? Maybe do a little more of the... That was just orchid. I think I had dark orchid, didn't I? So that's kind of doing away with my color. Alright. Now I'm just going to swirl this color around a little bit. Kind of get it to mix up a little. Okay. Now we're going to drop our white. I think that's probably moved the best it's going to. Now I'm going to do a dark blue on the background of this, so you may not even see that blue there. I don't know what I was thinking. Guess I wasn't. Alright. I haven't done a bloom in a while. Clean that stick off. Now let me get me a paper towel here. I like to do a half size. And I'm going to pop my bubbles that's in my white there. Now, I'll just squeeze that. Put that up there. Now let's see how we can get this to roll out in this tray since it's an odd shape. So we're going to kind of do oddly. Okay. All right. That is good. And I got a drop. You definitely want to pull that through, or you will have a blob there. All right. I'm just going to pull it here and here, 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 and then we'll pull out for each there, and then we're going to swirl out, swirl in. All right, guys, that's it. We're going to, hopefully that will bloom up. You know what, I wonder if I can kind of get this to do some odd shape in here. Usually we just do one, but I'm just going to kind of pull these more this way. Okay, now we'll let that bloom. Let it completely cure. We'll come back for a backing, and I'm going to use this Dark Storm Pigment Paste by Just Resin, and we're going to back this with it. So I'll see you guys back when we're ready to do the next layer. So I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so this is cured up. I've got 2 ounces of resin in here. Well, not quite 2, but almost. I've got 25 part B and 28 part A. I went ahead and opened my Dark Storm Just Resin Pigment Paste so that I could save you some time and you not have to watch me struggle with that. And usually I make a mess getting the foil off. But isn't that a beautiful color? I think this is going to look lovely on the back of this piece. It looks like it's bloomed very well. We'll see when we turn it over what the other side looks like. But this side looks pretty. So we're going to back it. And hopefully it's going to remind us of the universe. So I'm just going to get a little of that paste. I don't need much. That's probably even too much right there. That's all I'm going to use. Like I said, I probably should have just scraped the stick and only used what was on it. But isn't that a pretty blue? It's like a really dark blue. It's going to make that diamond dust crushed crystal that we put in there. It is going to make it sparkle and stand out, I do believe. I think this is just beautiful. I love just resin pigment pastes. Like I said, they've got some gorgeous colors. This looks a lot like the eye candy color that they have. I think it's called eye candy, or what's it called? Candy blue. They're candy blue paste. And this one is Dark Storm. Just resin. Alright guys, I've got to get this mixed up, get it in the vacuum chamber, and then we're going to be back to pour our backing on this. I'll see you in just a moment. Okay guys, I got it out of the vacuum chamber. Now I really think this color is going to really be so pretty on this. Just get this to go all the way to the edges. Okay, now let's just scrape everything out. It probably could have held another ounce, but I don't think we need to fill it all the way up. It's quite a thick tray. Scrape all of this out here. That is such a pretty blue. Dark Storm. I think that was one of the colors they sent me in my free stuff. Because I don't remember ordering it. I could have, because I ordered quite a bit. Okay. Here we go. See if I can get the last little drip drop to drip drop off. Seems like I make a big mess if I don't. I don't know if that's going to drip drop off or not. There it goes. There. Now, let me clean this up. But isn't that pretty? I hope it looks like a galaxy or reminds me of a galaxy. Because that's just what the cloud tray reminded me of, was the sky. Looking up, seeing the stars and the clouds and the moon, the sun. It's always so pretty. Alright, I got that cleaned off. I'm going to throw that in the bin. Now, see if I can pop a few of these little bubbles that have popped up here. Alright guys, I think that's it. We'll let this cure up and we will come back and demold this thing, and hopefully it will be pretty. So I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so this is cured up, so let's get it demolded and see what it looks like. Hopefully it's turned out really pretty. This is a pretty thick little mold. I got this off of Amazon. It didn't cost very much, like $4 or something maybe. Alright. Oh, that is pretty. I knew I'd lose my blue over here. You can see a little bit of it. That is too red, not the pink, but it is pretty, isn't it? That is a cute little tray. Very, very pretty. I love doing blooms. And that bloomed perfectly in that tray. I love the sparkle. I knew that blue would show that sparkle. Alright guys, that's it. I do have to trim up the back. But I'll post a photo for you guys, and I'll see you back for the next video. So, bye for now.